This video is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research.
This guy's about to try and scam the lottery out of $24 million.
President Trump, you are a man like unto King Cyrus. Now, I am not one to advise kings, but God doesn't care who you are.
Jonte Porter had a problem. He just got banned from the NBA because he was betting on himself and his own team. Now, this is way worse than you could possibly imagine. Because think about it, he has direct control over what happens in the game.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Quik Reaction TV. Smash the like, subscribe, and rock the bell so you won't miss an upload. I got an interesting selection today. Let's check it out. Quick!
This guy's about to try and scam the lottery out of $24 million. Now, his name is Eddie. He lives in Iowa, and he's a computer programmer, and he also works for the Multi-State Lottery Association. And he's going to use this position there to enact this wild scam. See, Eddie is actually the director of security at the Multi-State Lottery Association, and part of his job involves designing the software that randomly picks the winning numbers for these lotteries. And so Eddie's been working in this job for like 2 years, and then one day, everything changes. Cause he's at work and he's chatting with a coworker, and coworker is joking around, and he asks Eddie if he's put his own secret winning numbers into the software. And Eddie is like, say what now? And coworker's like, bro, you wrote the software so you can set the winning numbers. And Eddie's like, oh snap, that's right. I'm the one writing the software. I actually could rig this whole thing and win the lottery and make myself rich. And that is exactly what he's gonna do. So Eddie gets right to work, and he starts writing code on the Multi-State Lottery Association computer. And this code will basically help predict the winning numbers. Then, one night, he's working late in the office, and there's no one else around. So he gets some of those yellow sticky notes, and he starts writing down the different sets of possible winning numbers for this lottery that's about to happen all the way over in Colorado. Now, the jackpot for this lottery in Colorado is a big fat $4.8 million. So there's a lot on the line here. However, Eddie has a problem. He can't just roll over to Colorado and play the lottery himself. He's an employee of the Multi-State Lottery Association. It's against company policy for lottery employees to play the lottery. Plus, that would be very suspicious if a lottery employee won the jackpot. So then Eddie has to find someone to play it for him. And what does he do? Eddie recruits his brother, this guy, Tommy. And Tommy is a sheriff's deputy, of all things. But Tommy also just happens to be taking a trip to Colorado soon, because he's gonna look for, and I'm not making this up, Bigfoot. Yes, Tommy is going several states away to hunt for the legendary mythical creature. I guess he's just into that kind of stuff. So anyway, Eddie hits Tommy up, and he's like, hey, while you're out there in Colorado looking for Bigfoot, could you play a bunch of these lottery numbers I got? Because one of them is going to win. And Tommy, he's like, aight. Now, while Tommy's out there in Colorado, he doesn't actually find Bigfoot. Womp womp. But he does buy up a bunch of lotto tickets. And sure enough, when the time comes and they draw the winning lottery numbers, boom, one of Tommy's tickets wins. However, he doesn't actually win $4.8 million, because some other people win too, so the winnings are split between him and some other random winners. Regardless, Tommy ends up getting a cash payout of nearly $570,000, and he goes and he splits it with Eddie. Not a bad payday. Oh, but Eddie's scam is not over yet. That was way too easy. So for the next 10 years, Eddie uses his magic software and he gets the winning numbers, and he has another person, Tommy or whoever else he's scamming with at the time, he has that person go to other states and play their lottery and collect the winnings. And they win big. $22,000 in Kansas, $780,000 in Wisconsin, $900,000 in Oklahoma. Bro is raking it in. Until one day, Eddie makes a big mistake. Because he walks into a convenience store and he buys one of the winning tickets himself. And you can see him here, he's right there in the black hoodie, looking all kinds of shady.
Hello. Hello. Can I wait your hot dogs? Yes, sir.
And also, this particular lottery he's playing, this ain't no regular lottery. This is the Hot Lotto, which has a massive jackpot of $16.5 million. So, of course, he buys the tickets and he picks the numbers, and the ones he picked end up being the winner. And bam, he wins the jackpot. But, again, there's a problem. He still can't collect it himself. He's got to go find someone else who can. Meanwhile, the lottery commission, they know someone won. They know someone bought the winning ticket. They just don't know who. So they're just waiting on whoever to come forward and claim this prize money. And they're like going on TV and they're like making announcements.
Well, it's been almost a month since we had announced that we had a hot lotto, $16.5 million hot lotto winner. The Iowa Lottery has been looking and asking for everyone to please check their tickets.
So Eddie, he's got to collect this money. So he hits up his friend in Texas, this guy, Robert. And Robert, he's been already helping him with this lotto scam. And Eddie asked Robert to help him figure out how to collect this $16.5 million jackpot he just won. So Robert hits up a guy in Canada that he knows, and he asks him to call into Iowa and claim the prize. So then, 10 months after the winning numbers were announced, this random guy from Canada calls into Iowa claiming he's got the winning lottery ticket. But he says that he's too sick to go there in person and that they'll just have to give him the winnings. And the lottery commission, they're like, yeah, sure, buddy. And they start asking him questions about the day he bought the ticket. Like, what clothing were you wearing that day? Because they're skeptical and they're trying to pick his story apart. And of course, guy from Canada describes some clothing, but that description doesn't match the surveillance footage the lottery commission has of the man buying the ticket. So the commission is like, nah, bro, you're not the winner. Stay in Canada. So then Robert has to try something different, and he has a couple of lawyers come forward to claim the prize. And when these lawyers go to the lottery commission, they're like, we're here on behalf of our client, and our client wants to remain anonymous.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the winning ticket, but we don't have the person nor all of the background information about this winning ticket.
And again, the lottery commission gets very suspicious, especially because in Iowa, the identity of any given lottery winner is always made public. So the lottery commission is like, nah, and they don't pay out the winnings.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hot lotto jackpot claim has been withdrawn.
I mean, they know something shady's going on. So instead, they start looking into this anonymous winner who allegedly sent his lawyers. And eventually, they ask the police to get involved. So then police get involved. And even they are having a hard time figuring this out. But they go and they check out the surveillance footage from the convenience store where the winning lottery ticket was bought. Now, obviously, from this footage, you can see a man in a black hoodie, but you can't identify who that is. Like, the quality is just trash. So police, they go and they release this footage to the public. And they ask the public to help them identify the guy who bought the winning lottery ticket. So then, finally, after investigating this for nearly 4 years, kaboom, police get a tip. And it's someone telling them that the person in the video is a guy they know named Eddie. And it's presumed that whoever tipped the police off were some of Eddie's co-workers. And you can't really see him in the surveillance footage, but they could tell it was him by his voice.
Hello. Hello. Can we get your hot dogs? Yes, sir.
So then eventually, bam, police arrest Eddie. Here's his mugshot. And then, bam, they arrest his Bigfoot hunting ass brother Tommy too. Here's his mugshot. And also, bam, they arrest Robert. Here's his mugshot. And it's estimated that over 10 years, Eddie and these other guys tried to scam $24 million in lottery winnings, making this the biggest lottery scam in U.S. history. So anyway, Tommy gets 75 days in prison, Robert gets 6 months of home confinement because he testified against the others, while Eddie, the mastermind, he gets 25 years in prison. Although ultimately, Eddie only ended up serving 5 years, and now he's out on parole.
Damn! He had the Krabby Patty formula. He was hitting the jackpot for 10 years straight. That's more than enough money to start businesses and retire. But what? He goes and buy a ticket himself. Is that greed or stupidity? Let me know down in the comments below. Tap the like button if you're feeling the content. Smash subscribe to take a dive into another episode. And don't forget, comment your comments. This next clip is a little long. but it's worth a watch. Let's get back to it. Quick.
President-elect Donald J. Trump, congratulations on your win. I'm not a man of formalities, I don't even know them. So, whatever they are. Look, he might see this video, but not if I don't make it. President Trump, you are a man like unto King Cyrus. Now, I am not one to advise kings, but God doesn't care who you are. Only that you should do it the way that he said to do it. And in that there is only success, and outside of that there is only failure. But if I were to give advice to a man like unto King Cyrus, I would tell him to study King Cyrus. He had some failures in his later campaigns that could have been avoided. If I were a man like unto King Cyrus and I was going to pick somebody to analyze this for me, it would be Dr. Jordan Peterson. And I'd let him pick history, all the pieces in this. Those who do not know history are doomed to repeat it. It is the default setting in ignorance. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. And now I'll just talk to everybody because this is a TikTok video. Baron von Trump, I know that his middle name is William, is a man like unto King Darius the Great. He is no longer a boy. Already a force in this world. No man is promised tomorrow, so you must trust in God. But opinions on whether this man will be a world leader are null and void. That's already happened. If God grants this man many days, he will be a force to be reckoned with. Darius the Great. And so I'd study up on him also. In any case, to both of you gentlemen and to First Lady Melania as well, God bless you and keep you. I will add to that, God save us. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about Elon Musk. Now everybody likes to guess out loud who this fella is and who this fella is. Mostly done in ignorance of the specifics of what's written down. If you're using the Bible to tell who people are. The specifics are very specific and skipping them is... You're not going to get the right answer, you know? If you leave numbers out of the mathematical equation that need to be in there. Is this man calling fire down from heaven in the sight of men? Well, he's catching rockets out in the ocean. Is that a miracle? No, it's engineering. A modern miracle? Perhaps. Modern canceling the word miracle because it's just engineering. But we didn't know it was possible. He did. At least figured it was worth trying. Did he wear Antichrist armor to the thing? Have y'all watched Elon Musk sit and talk at length about anything? Do you know what's coming out of his mouth is important? So, if you do, you'd know that this fella right here would wear Antichrist armor to the thing for a very specific reason. Mainly mockery. Have you heard him talk about Jesus? Now, he doesn't believe in Jesus, don't get me wrong. But Jesus said, whoever ain't against us is for us. And he ain't against Jesus. He didn't have anything bad to say about Jesus when asked directly. That's some of those specifics I was telling you about. Do I think Trump is a Christian? Was King Cyrus a Jew? Did Jesus tell us some kind of lie when he said, hey, whoever is not against us is for us? Now, could that change? Sure. Now, some say this is all just smoke and mirrors, and I say, what does that matter? It is God who wrote the script, not men. Even if men write scripts, God wrote that into the script. Some of y'all have never read the never-ending story, or perhaps failed to understand it. Do men manipulate the weather? And yet God is in control, do you see? God knew all the plays that men would write before ever he formed the first one from the dust, in case you did not know. Elon Musk might be close, but he's no cigar. King Cyrus was not an antichrist, not a taker into captivity, a releaser from captivity, not a taker into captivity, a supporter of God's people. Perhaps we should pray to God and appeal to his authority here. Perhaps. Now, despite the fact that everyone loves to keep mentioning brainworms, this man talks the most sense out of just about anybody I've heard open their mouth in our century in regards to our chronic health problems. This man is a champion of the people with a record of being a champion of the people in regards to keeping our environment from being totally poisoned. And I'd love to see what he's going to do now. This man was a darling of the people until he diverted lockstep from the party lines, and I'm glad he did. Now, for everyone excited over the outcome of this election, January 25th is many days away. There are many a slip between a cup and a lip. And now we will read Proverbs 24, for a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth, lest the Lord see it, and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. Y'all be careful now. Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be found thou envious at the wicked. For there shall be no reward to the evil men, and the candle of the wicked shall be put out. Fear the Lord. Walk in his ways, for these are the ways of life. The King of kings and Lord of lords, our Savior Jesus Christ, desires mercy and not sacrifice. Grace and mercy even to those deluded by sorceries, and even as far as to our enemies. Brothers and sisters, let us walk the narrow path here, as commanded. To the left is disaster, and to the right is calamity. We can see what just happened over the past 8 years when God delivers it into our hands and we are not found keeping his commands in it. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. One more and then I'll go, lest I ramble. I do well to put the brethren in remembrance of these things. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, our Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. That is to say, faith without works is dead. Believing is doing. Jesus said, he who loves me keeps my commands. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. God is no respecter of persons. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Likewise also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignities. Do not be counted in that lot, brethren. Yet Michael the archangel, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses, durst not bring against him a railing accusation, did not bring against him a railing accusation, though he could have, but said, the Lord rebuke thee, the Lord rebuke thee. But these speak evil of those things which they know not, but what they know naturally, as brute beasts, in those things they corrupt themselves. Do not be counted in this lot, brethren, who speak evil of those things which they know not. Even Michael the archangel won't accuse the devil. I want to be clear that God is comparing people who call themselves believers, but bring railing accusations against dignities, are like unto the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. And the measure with which you judge others will be measured out to you. And so be careful who your mouth accuses. Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Kor. These are spots in your feast of charity. When they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear, clouds they are without water, carried about of winds, trees whose fruit withereth, without fruit, twice dead, plucked up by the roots. Don't be found with railing accusations coming out of your mouths. In all things in the coming days, weeks, months, and years, guard your hearts and bridle your tongues. Trust in God and follow his ways. God wrote the script. God appoints our leaders. God has commanded us to pray for them. And those of you who will bring railing accusations, do so to your own destruction, if God is to be believed. And he is. None of this is over until Jesus comes back. Settle it in your hearts to follow Jesus Christ for the long haul. You have great need of patience. It is the extra oil for your lamps. And we need the extra oil because it will get very dark. But for those of us in Christ, we'll have a lamp in our hands, and with patience you'll have enough oil. That is all. I don't expect a phone call or nothing. Woe to me if I don't open my mouth and say all this, though, right? Because if I know these things and don't tell you, what love have I for you? I love you all. God bless you. Elon Musk. Even him. And also, especially him. If you went to a panel discussion at NC State and saw Joe Salenton, and you heard a man in the top back bleachers yell, Soylent Green is people! It's people! That was me. Read all your books. Love you, bud. Please, God, help this man improve our agricultural practices. Y'all might not have known what I was going to say about all this, but this is what I have said.
That boy is good.
Interesting food for thought. And he backed it up with scripture. Y'all let me know if y'all agree with him down in the comments below.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Jontay Porter had a problem. He just got banned from the NBA because he was betting on himself and his own team. Now, this is way worse than you could possibly imagine. Because think about it, he has direct control over what happens in the game. Oh, my team needs to lose today? Maybe I'll miss a shot. But here's the thing. He can't really affect his games like that because he's on something called a two-way contract. Okay, you need to listen closely. Jontay Porter isn't someone like a LeBron James who has direct control over who wins and who loses his games. He plays the whole game. He makes the most points and all that. But Jontay Porter is like on the bottom of the bench, doesn't play that many minutes, all that. And that works for his favor because he starts flying under the radar. He misses rebounds. He starts dropping the ball. People are like, oh, no, he's just trash. And here's where things start to get wicked. His bets were for stuff like parlays. And what that means is he's betting if he's gonna go over or under a certain amount of points or rebounds. So like if he's betting Jontay Porter is only gonna get 7 or under rebounds tonight. So he go in the game, gets 7 rebounds, 6 rebounds, and stop. If he gets over that, he loses his money. And how he gets caught is he starts doing too much. He's playing the game and he's balling out. He gets like 3 rebounds or something like that. And he's forgetting that he can't get too many rebounds this game. His boy in the stands is like, stop playing good. But damn, he still got like the whole game left to go. His coach is like, Jontay, keep scoring them buckets. Jontay like, he goes, coach, my eye hurts. And you can actually see him in the game doing this. His coach is like, what? He said, my eye hurts? They're checking bro's eye. Doctor said, no, you look good. Jontay said, oh, no, I'm not good. Now, remember when I said Jontay's like on the bottom of the bench, two-way contract player. The coach said, Jontay, go home. Matter of fact, is your name Jontay? Go, I don't care. Now, sports betting organizations then see the numbers that Jontay Porter is getting in bets. They said, Jontay Porter? Who Jontay Porter? Why would somebody bet that much money on a person that's on like the bottom of the bench? All that. So they reported to Adam Silver, who's the commissioner of the NBA. They do an investigation and find out Jontay Porter is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on bets for himself and, his team. Under a different name, though. Now, this is a bad look for the NBA and Adam Silver because Adam Silver is a proponent of sports betting, meaning, yeah, he thinks it's cool. Because if you make bets on the NBA, you're going to take an interest in the NBA. You're going to watch it more, see if your players went over under a certain number. So he said, yo, we should be all for sports betting. But if people find out that players are betting on themselves and all that, people are going to say, no, the NBA is rigged. So the NBA cracks down hard. They make something called the Jontay Porter rule, which means people with two-way contracts, bottom of the bench players, people can't make bets on them. They're off the list. On top of that, take it a step further. Feds, go track that boy down. The feds do a hardcore investigation and they lock him up. Well, they charge him with a felony. He gets his passport taken away so he can't even play in leagues overseas. On top of that, he's going to jail. If they're lenient, he doesn't have to go to jail. If they're not, he goes to jail for 20 years. But they're probably going to make it like 2-3 years. The NBA also made it so players cannot see their phones while they're in a game. If an emergency happens, then somebody's going to run out and give them their phone. Now, I have a question for you. If this was LeBron James who made this sports bet, do you think he'd be banned for life? The answer is probably no, because in the rules it states if someone is caught sports betting, it's up to Adam Silver, the commissioner, to decide what happens. And come on, let's be real. Jontay Porter, all right, y'all could ban him. His brother, by the way, his brother is Michael Porter Jr. He's a pretty good player for the Denver Nuggets. Maybe we'll just give him a suspension for like a few months. LeBron, you banned for a week. Maybe 2 days if you get mad at us. The thing is, though, on the bright side for the NBA, players like LeBron, Steph Curry, when you get to that high level of NBA talent, you're probably doing it for the love of the game. You make enough money, you probably don't need a sports bet. And you want to win on your own merits and all that. Anyway, see you.
What? Well, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
I can tell you from firsthand experience, getting greedy does not work. And that was a classic case of greed. You made it to the NBA. You had enough money to start other businesses and do other things, but you didn't. You jeopardized all of it for a couple of $100,000. If that, it wasn't even that. You were making a couple of thousand. So I know right now, Jontay's feeling like, there it is, Quik Crew. Thanks for chilling to the end. Please like, comment, subscribe so we can chill again. Remember, keep God first, respect your parents, and love your kids. And I'll see you in the next vid. Quik